Hi, and thank you for visiting healthybabybump.blogspot.com. I cannot express to you how excited I am to be able to document this journey. And so I wanted to begin this blog by kind of giving you a little bit of background so you know what a true miracle of God this baby is. In July, I actually published my first book. It's called The Look That Kills. It is about my 4-year struggle with anorexia and how I came out of that lifestyle. But as most of you probably know, anorexia does not come without consequence. And one of those consequences that I've had is not knowing whether or not I would be able to conceive and to be able to have children on my own. And in the last chapter of my book, let's see if I can find this really quick. I'm not even sure if you're going to be able to see this, but oh, here it is. I said, I wish that I could end this book with the joyful news that I am pregnant. But at the time, obviously, the publication of this book, I couldn't. And I really think that that was just God saying, Michelle, my timing, not yours, my timing is perfect. And it just seems like the more that I've been able to do with this book in the past, month or so, 6 weeks, the more that God has really laid on my heart the desire to be a mom. And so about 2 weeks ago, my husband and I were talking, and I had done a lot of research, and I looked to see, are there any factors that are in my control, things that I could change that could potentially help me to get pregnant? Because at this point, my husband and I have been trying for 14 months to have a child. And there were a few factors that indeed I could control, and it was my activity level and the amount of stress in my life and also the amount of sleep that I'm getting. And I'm an early riser. For the past 5 or 6 years of my life, I've been at the gym at 5 o'clock most days of the week. I teach classes and love doing it. Absolutely love getting to be able to share health and fitness with others. And it just hasn't been something in my life that I've been willing to let go. And so after much prayer and consideration and talking with some of my doctors and some close friends, my husband and I decided that I was going to take a season where I wasn't teaching. And that was a very, very big step for me because I love our members so much, and I love the formats that I teach and love the gyms where I teach. But we decided to let it go. And so this past Friday was actually my last day teaching at 24 Hour Fitness. And it was so difficult because walking out of that gym because I was just heartbroken. And so on Thursday, the day before my last class, my doctor had told me to come in at the end of the summer if I still wasn't pregnant, and that way we could start discussing my options as far as fertility treatment and next steps. And so I called on Thursday thinking that it would take me a couple of weeks to get an appointment, and the receptionist told me that my doctor actually had a cancellation for Friday. And I thought, well, as concerned as I am about this being the last day that I'm teaching at 24 Hour Fitness, maybe this will help soften the blow and I can concern myself a little bit more with my doctor's appointment. So I went ahead and booked the appointment for 11 o'clock on Friday morning. Taught my last class at 5:45 Friday morning, and then went home for a little bit and didn't feel good. Like, my stomach just felt weird. I felt kind of nauseous, and I was like, okay, Michelle, this is all in your head. It's just psychological. You got to get yourself, out of this and start concentrating on this doctor's appointment. So I went, and my doctor actually had a new nurse working with her, and so, she starts asking all of the classic questions. When was the last time you had a period? And, I told her, I was like, well, it was like in the middle of July 17th, I think. And she starts getting really excited, and I was like, No. Don't get excited. It's nothing like that. I just have very irregular cycles, and so you never can tell. It's nothing out of the ordinary for me to skip 1 or even 2 or 3 months of my period, so don't get excited. And so she was like, oh, okay. And then the doctor came in and we talked for a few minutes, and she started talking to me about some medication and some tests that my husband and I would have to do. And I'm just sitting there nodding and going, okay, Lord, this is all yours, all yours. And she said, but one thing that I do need to do first is, for insurance purposes, I need you to have a negative pregnancy test on file. Is it going to break your heart too much to take one? And I was like, over the past, over a year, I've taken so many negative pregnancy tests, it's really not going to affect me that much. It's okay. I can take one more. And so I went, and she said, okay. She said, you go do that, and I'll go get all of your medication and everything together. And so I went and, took the pregnancy test, and she came back in, and she had a bag full of stuff. I mean, my head was just spinning when she walked back in, because I was like, this is going to be a really intense process. I mean, I knew that, but I didn't know it until I saw everything. And so she starts saying, okay, well, this is this medication, and this is this test, and this is for you, this is for James. And then she goes, but you're not going to need it. And she hands me this positive pregnancy test. And I said, are you sure it's mine? And she was sure. And so to go in for an appointment about infertility and to find out you're pregnant the exact day that you've laid down something that possibly could be the thing that's holding you back from getting pregnant, and for God to say, Michelle, I had a plan. I just needed you to lay some of this down. I need you to truly give it all to me. Not some, but all. I want it all. I want all of you. And when you give me everything, when you take those steps of obedience, I bless you. God blesses obedience. He blesses those steps of faith that we take, even when we think, financially, this doesn't make sense. For my happiness, for my sanity, this does not make sense. But following God's leading and God's prompting, no matter how crazy it may seem to the world, always makes sense in His timing. So after doing some tests to figure out my hormone levels and figure out how far along I am actually 8 weeks pregnant. I go for my first ultrasound tomorrow, Tuesday, September the 14th, and I am due on Easter Sunday, April the 24th. So how is that for God's restoration and healing? So the purpose of this blog is just to document a healthy pregnancy, on what I eat, when I sleep, how much I exercise, and how the baby's development is going, my doctor's appointments, how my husband is feeling. But I'm so excited to be able to document this journey and to be able to share it with you. And I've got a passion to be a work-at-home mom, and so I'll probably talk a little bit about my job and what I do and just what a blessing that is in my life. But I thank you so much for joining me, and just please continue. I just covet your prayers for baby Myers, whether it is a boy or a girl. I've got this weird feeling that it's a boy, but I really hesitate saying that, but I don't know what it is. I just have this slight inclination, but who knows? It's my first pregnancy. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I'm doing a lot of research, and I'm asking a lot of questions, and I'm seeking the wisdom of a lot of smart people. So thank you for taking the time to watch this. Thank you for stopping by to document this journey with me. And I am so excited to share the rest of these 7 months with you. Have a wonderful day, and thanks for visiting healthybabybump.blogspot.com.